The Imperial Gene. From Rome to Britain. Introduction. Time is a merciless river that swallows even the proudest civilizations. In the year 43 AD, the most organized military machine the world had ever seen, the Roman legions stepped onto a dark, misty island at the edge of the known world, Britannia. Rome shaped this island with blood, iron, and stone. Yet history's most chilling irony was hidden in this muddy soil. The very islanders crushed under the iron fist of Rome would, centuries later, dig through the ashes of that dead empire. They would steal its imperial DNA, conquer the global oceans, and create the largest colonial empire in human history, the British Empire. This was a genetic legacy of a dark hunger for absolute power. Part 1. The Memory of Stone and Cities. Rome stamped its mark on the British island for exactly 400 years. It was a silent, painful process of assimilation. Today's magnificent London, known in ancient times as Londinium, was founded by the Roman army as a supply base on the banks of the River Thames, built with the blood and sweat of slaves. The legions did not just build cities, they drove garrisons like nails into the heart of the island, founding York and Chester. For centuries, the British walked on military roads built by Romans, completely unaware of their origin. They grew up in the shadows of Roman walls. The massive Hadrian's Wall, built across the north of the island, drew the first clear political and military border. A bloody line separating civilization from what Rome called barbarism. When Rome finally left the island, it left behind an orphaned people with a deeply hidden, burning desire for empire. Part 2. The language and the law. Empires are not built by weapons alone. They must conquer the mind. Latin, the administrative language of Rome, crushed the native tongues of the island and became the structural backbone of modern English. Today, the most powerful words used in British culture regarding power, state, law, and military hide Roman roots. More importantly, the philosophy of Roman law formed the foundations of English common law. The Anglo-Saxon world inherited its instinct to protect order, justice, and property directly from Rome's written legal codes. The art of global governance was carried from the courts of Caesar straight into the Parliament halls of London. Part 3. From Pax Romana to Pax Britannica. By the 19th century, a strange ghost was walking through the halls of Parliament in London, the ghost of Caesar. British elites grew up reading Latin texts at Oxford and Cambridge, memorizing Roman history. They declared themselves the New Romans, chosen to civilize the world. When Rome conquered the globe, they called it Pax Romana, the Roman peace. This was a peace of absolute surrender, submit and live, or resist and die. Britain adopted the exact same mask, Pax Britannica. The Royal Navy controlled the oceans while claiming to bring civilization and free trade to the world. Both empires marketed their colonial cruelty as a moral duty for the good of humanity. Part 4. Warriors of Stone. Power always wishes to make itself immortal through stone. When the British Empire reached its peak, it rebuilt London using the architectural grandeur of ancient Rome. The massive pillars of Buckingham Palace and the neoclassical facade of the British Museum were direct copies of Roman design. This was not an artistic accident. It was a conscious message to the world. Every foreign diplomat, every colonial subject arriving in London felt crushed beneath these giant stone structures. They read a silent warning written in the stone. Rome did not fall. It simply moved across the sea to London. Part 5. Divide and rule. Empires are kept alive by a calculated method of governance. Divide et impera. Divide and rule. Rome gave Roman citizenship to local kings and elites in conquered lands, turning them into allies who would control their own people on behalf of Rome. Centuries later, Britain perfected this exact strategy in India and Africa. Maharajas and tribal chiefs, educated in British schools, became puppet bureaucrats, exploiting their own people for London. Pitting local groups against each other to crush rebellions was a dirty game both empires played flawlessly. They saw themselves as the rightful masters, and the rest of the world as subjects to be managed. Part 6. from land legions to ocean fortresses. The two empires were like two halves of a global military puzzle. Rome buried its power into the earth. It built flawless stone roads and ruled the land with invincible legions. Its land borders were its armor. Britain, driven by the deep insecurity of being an island nation,